check out the Friday podcast. Friday vibes.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Trey.
Sounds like a stand-up dude.
Oh my God.
Hopefully you're watching the Friday podcast. Guys, we raw uncut up in here. Oh, shining fire. Stop it. Dumbass. How am I posing? This is getting really heated and heated. That's what it's all about. We want everybody to go out and just live for your Friday.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, another question I had. Well, because I had a question, but since Rico told me late that you ringing out for Chikara, which is a big deal, which Rico didn't tell me about, that kind of goes to my question because now I know you knew like all these guys prior. You watched the indie stuff, so you already know New Japan, all that stuff. In AEW, who is someone besides Chris Jericho? Is there a theme song you love besides Chris Jericho's theme song? Please say it's Cody Rhodes, please.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. That's a good question.
I do love
That's
Kingdom.
all he wants.
The downstate guys are very nice.
Yeah, okay.
We actually
they performed. They performed at right.
So we all performed at the same show. They're lovely. They're very nice guys. And I also have a very close relationship with Mikey Ruckus, who writes their music.
Okay.
Who's actually a Richmond native.
Richmond.
Wow.
It's
Who would have
destiny.
thought? So
Interesting.
So, yeah.
That's
And
cool,
he does great stuff. He just released one song. You know who's I love? Sean Spears.
Sean Spears.
I
Okay.
love
Really?
Sean Spears'
Okay.
theme because my boy Josiah Williams is on that one.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so,
Okay.
he had to drop that fire. He had to drop that one.
Okay.
Sean Spears as well.
Okay. And since you brought up just Josiah, which it kind of goes so I'm sure you know about the releases that happened about what last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Is there someone in that group that you think AEW could benefit from having? You can choose as many as you want, one person, anyone you think.
Well, I will say I would love to make music with Josiah. He and I actually talked about that.
Okay.
So, kind of collaborating with AEW would be fire. Josiah actually called me like 15 minutes after the releases were announced.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And unfortunately, he was one of them.
Yeah,
So,
see what? Ian Leo.
Yeah, so we had a little, but
Yeah.
so,
Of course you do.
but he has his faith in God. You know, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
He and his wife are gonna be fantastic. So I'm not worried about them. Anyway, returning to this question, I would love to see Rusev.
Oh my
I
God.
would love
Wow.
in AEW. Can you?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Can
That's
you imagine?
How much
Wow.
do they pay you?
How much we gonna pay you?
How much did Rico pay you? I want to know.
We knew this was gonna happen.
Oh my God.
What's the plan?
We ain't gonna see Rusev no more.
Speaking of WWE superstars, this question is hard. Who is in your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Well, we've had the all right. So
That's a heavy hitter.
that's a very for me. Okay, and this is
I
just
got a question after
me
that. Too.
personally.
Just you personally.
Yeah.
My personal Mount Rushmore.
Your personal.
Who is this?
She gotta have she
Sorry,
gotta have Randy Orton up there.
No. Macho Man Randy Savage.
Okay.
Stone Cold.
Okay.
Yes.
The Rock.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And John
Ooh.
Cena.
All right.
John
there you
Cena.
go.
Okay. I like John Cena.
See,
Okay.
we don't like to admit that John
I
Cena
feel like I
is
kind of
first.
covered like every sort of like
Generation. Yeah.
sort of like era.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that
People
makes
don't like to say John Cena, but he is.
Yeah, some people in the chat don't like John
But
Cena.
you can't
Ain't no
deny
names.
the impact that he's had
Right.
on this.
No.
Yeah.
one
Still
can
have
deny
it, right,
you're
yeah.
100%.
Can't deny that.
Bro, he was the face for many years.
Like John Cena just
You can't deny.
transcends wrestling.
Okay. Yes, I agree.
He does.
look for when you're looking at somebody who like, should be considered like that.
Yeah, he changed WWE.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Ken, what's your question, Ken?
All right. So,
oh boy.
What is your favorite musical? What is your Mount Rushmore of musicals? How about that?
Jeez,
my Mount Rushmore of musicals? Dear God.
Okay.
Okay.
You say you sing and I heard Princess Ida, so look, it was good. What they talking about? What's your Mount Rushmore?
Oh gosh. Guys and Dolls.
Yes, it's fire.
Okay.
Ooh.
A friend, I know someone who's in that.
Rent.
Shut up, Deontay.
Rent? Oh,
Rent.
Rent.
That's a really good one.
Wicked.
Ooh.
Okay.
And Hamilton.
I knew.
Hey.
That's a nice list. That's a nice
Within
list.
those, you covered a good amount of years. Like, you covered a good span, and you picked a good chunk of really pivotal musicals that really made a lot of moves in the world of musical theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. I got one
that's
more
good.
question.
That's good.
That was wild.
I got one more question wrestling-wise, and I'll step to the side. This is something me and Trey talk about all the time. Me and Trey are always talking about this person needs to do this, booking stuff, and people being unutilized. Who is someone that's currently on the roster, male and female, who you think deserves a push to a title or like just a good storyline? Who's someone that you think? Like for me, Apollo Crews is someone I think deserves opportunities to do more than he's doing. So that's an example.
Like Liv Morgan, right?
That's pretty good, Pan. That was actually one of my questions.
Nah, Mandy Rose.
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair.
Thank you.
Belair. I think that
I'm on my own.
Rico
Rico
has to get in your head.
The fact, it's kind of, for me, Bianca's story is kind of a double-edged sword. I appreciate that she has been called up to Raw, but I think that there were so many opportunities that were dropped during her time in NXT.
That's true.
And for me, it's just, I would have loved to see her as NXT Women's Champion.
Yes.
I don't know. I just personally, number one, I love Rhea Ripley. Do not get me wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
She's fire.
But she's fire. Love her. She's incredibly talented. But I don't think that, I'm trying to understand where they're going with Charlotte as far as Women's Champion.
Right.
So I don't think that Shayna should have dropped the belt to Rhea.
Okay, get it.
I think that they were trying to kind of put Bianca in the storyline and they didn't really know where to go with it.
Right.
I don't think the execution was as strong as it should have been as far as from a creative perspective.
I agree.
I agree.
But yeah, so that's I'm glad she's on Raw. I hope she does great things on Raw.
I'm praying.
I'd love to see her as Raw Women's Champ. Someone take it from Becky, please God.
Yeah. Thank you.
Somebody.
And when you're right
that's
about
Will's favorite. That's Will's favorite.
And you're right about Bianca too, because the whole Charlotte thing, Charlotte kind of like abused her in that NXT match, and then now Charlotte's champion in NXT, Bianca's on Raw, so they're never gonna fix that thing Charlotte embarrassed and all that. So now it's kind of like
never been solved.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. They kind of left that hanging. I was definitely really expecting Bianca to interfere somehow at the match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And again, it's just the balls that just keep getting dropped. And I think
they do. That happens a lot.
It's WWE creative. What are you gonna do? But I just
I got two more questions.
That kind of sucks. Yeah.
I got two more questions, Meredith, I want to hit you with, and then I want Shan to ask her question, and she's gonna wrap us up.
I'm sure you can ask your questions too.
I got my question.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, I thought Trey asked his question. Sorry, Trey. Trey champion. I'm not. I'm gonna let Trey go. Trey will wrap us up. Trey will wrap us up with his question, because I think we're gonna spend a lot of time with him. So I want you to talk to us about your how did you and the Black Wrestling Alliance connected and how that whole thing happened.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta talk about you and Chikara and you ring announcing and the events and things that you guys are still doing even in this whole coronavirus situation. And I want you to just talk about how God has just been blessing you. Okay. You've just met and just happened upon so many people. And when she starts naming these names, y'all are gonna be like, oh my God. So bless us.
Okay, so let's start with Black Wrestling Alliance with Adrian. So Adrian, that's such a weird thing. I think that kind of my personality was kind of what gravitated me towards him. Going on his page, like I just started following him, I want to say like 2 years ago. Same. Just having these conversations and then like going into DMs and then talking and then it's kind of one of those things where you just find a wrestling friend and you realize how much you have in common. Like Adrian is like a family man, like he has children and that sort of stuff. He also performs. I think he's on contract now. He lives in England. I was married to somebody from London. So It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like we just ended up clicking and connecting. And then the idea for Melanin Markout came out of us doing IG Live and talking about what had happened. Kind of just a recap of what was happening in wrestling from the past week. And then we ended up just being like, yo, we should really make a podcast out of this. And we ended up developing Melanin Markout, which my microphone's coming in the mail. I'm so excited.
Good. Yeah, good. Cool.
Step it up a little bit more.
Hey.
Yes.
Adrian, like, it's weird how the world works. I've never met Adrian in person. But I do consider him to be one of my closest friends. Like he literally has been there for me through all of this. Like for me, going through what I went through from my divorce and stuff like that. Like he's a gem. He's an absolute doll. So yes, big shout out to BW.
Yes.
Shout out to Black Wrestling Alliance.
Shout out to Black Wrestling Alliance.
Yes.
Hopefully he goes back and hopefully he goes and watches this.
Yes, of course, absolutely. So as far as
Chikara.
Yeah, so as far as Chikara is concerned, so basically what happened was that their old ring announcer, Vlad, ended up stepping down. And I actually went out, I was contacted by Bryce Remsburg, who at the time was the senior official for Chikara. He now works for AEW, to come out and audition. And I forget exactly how Bryce and I met. I think it was just me going to Chikara shows and just being vocal, and y'all know I'm loud. That's just how I am. Right. So I went out, I did the audition, I did really well, but at the time I was in Sweet Charity, and so with, just conflicts and stuff like that, I wasn't able to really commit. So fast forward to 2018, Mark Adam Haggerty is the one who is their ring announcer, has been for over a year. He ends up getting signed to a contract with MLW. And the need for a ring announcer comes up again. So this time, Mike Quackenbush, the owner of Chikara, was the one who approached me. And he sat down, had a meeting at Starbucks, and he was just like, what are your plans for this year? Like, is it something where you would be able to commit to this? And things, well, I don't have Chikara, I don't have Palace Burn anymore. I've decided to step down from musical theater just to kind of give it a break because I've been doing a lot, doing shows. I just wrapped up Passing Strange. So it was like, yeah, I love pro wrestling. Like, why not? Absolutely.
Right. Why not?
And so my first show with them, I ended up doing like a little run through, like a practice run. And then my first show was in January at the Young Lions Cup. And we had to come up with a name for me because it's very character based. Yes. Like everybody has character in Chikara. Like that's just how it's run. And so I already had the idea for, I don't know why. Oh, Seussical. I had an idea for Maisie because I did Seussical and I was Maisie LeBird. But we couldn't come up with the last name. We were having kind of issues coming up with that. And so Yolanda, the girl who does costuming for Chikara, she was like, why don't you do like Caroline or something? Like, aren't you from Virginia? Like, how do you do with the Southern accent? I was like, oh, well, honey, that's you. That's you, darling. Like, I'll show like pull off the Southern accent now. So we came up with Maisie Caroline, and they're like, just go to Mike and introduce yourself as Maisie. And like, we think this is gonna work. Because Mike was just like shooting down name after name. And so I came up to him and I was just like, well, hello there, sugar. My name is Maisie Caroline from Savannah, Georgia, and it is such an honor to meet you. And he stopped for a second and he looked at me. He's like, that'll work. Do that. I was like,
that's what's up.
So I am currently the mistress of ceremonies for Chikara. Nice. Miss Maisie Caroline for the Chikarmi. That's how they know me. And I love being Maisie. I love playing the role. The fans, like, I'm so over with the fans. Like, from the first show, they were already chanting Maisie as I came out. It was wild. The Chikarmi's so great. It's such a wonderful place to be around, and I love being a part of it. So hopefully we'll see, when Miss Rona decides to go away, then we'll see how things go. And yes, I did want to mention that we are currently doing Action Arcade. So we're doing it's like Saturday morning wrestling. So Action Arcade is going to be every Saturday. The season started. So this Saturday coming up is going to be Action Arcade 5.
Okay.
And you can catch it on indiewrestling.tv or chikaratopia.com. And it's just like a 1-hour show of wrestling, and you see me and all of the Chikarmi, people, and they're doing matches and stuff like that. A lot of it was pre-taped, so that's how we're still, keeping it going as of right now. But it's wonderful. It's really, really great to see. So yes, Chikaratopia, Action Arcade, Saturday mornings at 11 a.m.
Yes.
Do it. Get your cereal. Get your pancakes. Let's do this.
Yes, pancakes. Yeah.
Yes. Now, talk to us about all these encounters that you have had recently, and then Shan, you can jump in after that, and then Trey.
I've had a lot, like, encounters. Like, what do you mean? Because I've met a lot of people, right? So
right off top, we got John Boyega.
Okay, so that was just.
That's crazy.
That was just me being 30.
That's crazy.
That's all that was. That was funny. He just brought me on this live. That's all that was. John, ever since the quarantine started, because he's in London with his sister, I've just followed him on Instagram, and he's just been going live. With his fans and stuff like that, just randomly, like every 5 minutes or whatever, and just talking to random people on live. And so it was getting ready to be the end of the night for them, because they're like 5 hours ahead of us. Yeah. And so he was just like, all right, I'm about to wrap it up. And then I sent a little question in the little question bar. I was like, can I sing for you? And he checks it. He's like, hold on, someone says they want to sing for me. I was like, fuck! Oh God, that's me! Oh,
you got through. Look, Perrin, everybody was on that damn Ted Riley chat. Perrin asked, who was it? Trey could not get a question through.
It was sitting in front of my piano on that chat, on that live.
I was sitting in front of my piano, and I was like, hey, how you doing? And again, just, he's so cool. Like, he's so laid back and just having like a just genuine conversation. And he was just like, so you said you want to sing for me. What do you have? And I was just like, I got Alicia Keys. I hope that's cool. And that's what I did. And he loved it. He and his sister loved it. And I was like, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Stay safe.
Wow.
That is so cool.
That is great.
Yeah, shout out John.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Shout out to John.
Shout out to John, for sure. So.
Yes. What else was it? Was one other person that was on my mind. No, the other person
Lil'
on
Kim?
my mind. No, she ain't met Lil' Kim, you dummy.
I'm not Lil' Kim.
But she did repost me on that story. So
She did.
Little Kim know me. She know who
repost
I
it,
am. She reposted on that story.
Nah, you killed that. You killed that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he did. He did good.
Very true.
He did.
Thank you. Okay.
Even I shared it.
Yeah.
You got charity.
Shan, you have not said nothing at all.
Shan,
I'm a woman of few words.
She's just over here. She's just over here looking beautiful. That's what she doing.
Yeah.
With that red, right?
With that red lipstick on, girl.
I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I can't. For some reason, I can't see you, Meredith. But I did scroll down your IG into like 2018, so I've seen you.
Oh, damn! I'm sorry, girl.
Hey, listen. No, but so rumor has.
Oh, Shan, all you have to do is move her picture into one of the 4 squares. That's how she'll show up.
All right, Trey, you gotta go.
Shan, I thought what we had was real, Shan.
Shan just looking.
You've been listening to her talk this whole time and ain't been seeing her?
I haven't.
She has a good voice, though. Let's be
No
real.
wonder you ain't saying nothing.
Exactly. You've been talking the whole time.
Yes, hey.
You translate?
So, thank you. So I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, I have always been a fan of a good musical competition show. And there's a rumor swirling around that you may be a part of one. Is this true? Can you give us any insight?
Yes. So Miss Rona unfortunately shut us down. But when the AEW, when the Revolution thing happened, I was in the middle of a competition called Songbird. So I was doing that in Philly. It's basically an American Idol style competition, just a local sort of thing in Philly. They have themes every week. And the last theme that we were able to do, I believe, was songs that were popular when you were 16. And that's actually what I did. I did the Alicia Keys thing.
Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Yeah.
So,
what song? Yeah. Can I ask which song it was?
If I Ain't Got You.
All right.
Love it. Favorite.
So yeah, which is I have the video because I was like having my like performances recorded, so it is on my Instagram. So yes, and it was a lot of fun, and actually 2 of the girls who were in the competition with me agreed to be a part of the Inner Circle Choir.
Oh, that's what's up.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Nice.
Miss Sarah and Miss Liz Rose.
That's what's up.
That was so nice of them to be able to help me out. So yeah, it's one of those things like we know we're in a competition, but we're all having so much fun with each other because we really like each other. It's a very good season, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish it out, which is unfortunate. Time will only tell. But we still have our group chat and we still talk to each other every day. And yeah, I miss my cast. I love them.
Wow, that's cool, man.
So yeah.
I hope you guys get to finish it up. Krona, be gone.
I know.
Yes. Yeah. I went to the house.
Miss Rona messing it up. She got to go.
That Johnny Gill was sickening.
Johnny Gill. Not the Johnny Gill. That was fun.
She did Johnny Gill, y'all.
Bro.
If y'all go through her IG, look for a blue jacket with some spandex, you will see it.
You cannot miss it. I look like I was an extra on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. You cannot miss it.
Stop it. But Trey Champion, man, go ahead and wrap us up, Trey.
I'm the true bitch.
So, first off, I love that shirt. I saw the story behind that shirt. Yeah. The guy who made it and everything. That was like awesome. So I know that's a good story for him too. I'm gonna order me one, by the way. It's on the way. But speaking of Le Champion, let's talk
Hey!
Hey! Little bubbly!
I hate them.
Little bubbly!
So I want to know about your experience with Chris Jericho. Like, period. Like, what is he like as a person? You know what I mean? I know.
Oh my gosh, he's a doll. He's so sweet. So we didn't get much time with him, right? We actually flew out the day of the show to Revolution, and gosh, what do I want to say? So we got there, and then we got kind of briefed by Bryce Remsburg and then Chris Harrington, who of course is the VP. And then we went to rehearsal. So we went out there and we met with the sound people. You know, they're striking, doing whatever it is they need to do, checking levels, and so on and so forth. And at the same time, the wrestlers, the talent are in the ring, and they're, you know, practicing their moves and, you know, whatever, going through their matches. And the next thing you know, we start singing and all of them stop. They all just like turn around and they're just like, oh my God. And they started filming us like with their phones and stuff like that. So we actually, there is a little clip of us rehearsing on an episode of Being the Elite.
Okay.
So, wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I need to go back and watch it then.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. So after we finished rehearsing, they're just like, hey, so Jericho wants to come up and speak to you guys. He comes up, and, you know, my choir members are starting to freak out. I was like, yo, y'all better shut up. Y'all better calm it down.
Very cool.
Like, I had to get like my black mom on, you know.
Yeah.
Don't you embarrass me in front of Le Champion, you know, that sort of thing. So he comes up and he gives me this big hug, and he's just like, oh my God, thank you so much for coming. This is going to be so great. I'm so excited to have you guys here, you know, that sort of stuff. And then we kind of talked about, you know, what we wanted to do, because originally we were going to go through the song a couple of times, but then we decided that it would be best to cut it down to the first verse and the chorus, and then have Jericho's music kick in from there. So that was actually Jericho's idea.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So we actually had the chance to like collaborate on what it was going to sound like. So we had like time to talk through email, but you know, it's kind of hard to kind of like, you know, explain what you're trying to do.
Right.
About it in person, especially with something, you know, as big as that. So we ran through it, and, you know, he's just like, yep, that'll work, that sort of thing. And he just asked us, you know, did we have a good flight? You know, did we make it out okay? How are you guys feeling? And stuff like that. And he took a picture with us, and yeah, he was just so nice. He was very welcoming, and you could tell that he was actually so excited about it. Like,
okay, that's awesome.
This is gonna be awesome. And the fact that he like went on his Twitter and was like, "This is the best entrance that I've ever had in my 30 years as a performer." I started crying. I was like,
oh, it was awesome.
Oh no, I already know.
I retweeted that. That was so special for you. That's so awesome.
Yeah. So yes.
Have you ever had any aspirations yourself to be a wrestler?
Hell no.
Nope.
I don't know if like Maisie's ever been a part of.
She could be the next Jacqueline. She could be the next Jacqueline. You know, I don't know.
Nah, bro. I'll tell you this. I took the 101 course for Chikara, and that is what told me real quick.
Thank you.
Really?
Guys, it's hard. Yeah.
At all.
Will and I have been telling Train Cam how difficult it is. We say, no, we can do it.
I did a summer camp in high school.
I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. It wouldn't hurt to try. I mean, it does.
Listen, as a fan and as somebody who is now like working in this business, I'm glad that I did it, because I have so much more of an appreciation for what I do day in and day out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've taken a bump. It's not fun.
Hurts.
You know, I've done a bridge. I've like locked up with people. I can't get a bandero where that, you know, I'm not getting my big ass up and down the top rope. That ain't happening. You know, so it's like I have such a like.
Those bumps hurt. Those bumps hurt.
They look like they do.
You know, it hurts like when you.
Well, that's I want to know. I mean, does it hurt? I mean, or does it depend on how high you fall? Like how?
It doesn't.
It's how you bounce back.
You know what it is? The mat makes it sound worse than it actually is.
Yeah.
The sound when you hear that sucks.
I'm telling you, if y'all just don't believe her, let's go try it. Like, go try it.
I believe her.
Exactly.
I believe her.
Exactly.
You ain't gotta don't fuck with me.
I want to see if Trey can take a chop from a Big Show slap to the chest.
Oh, nah. Trey bones getting broken.
Take that smack to the chest, boy.
Tuck your chin, bro. That's all I can tell you. Tuck that chin.
None of y'all are surviving.
I know my ass ain't surviving. Okay.
No, you ain't. Rico beard can go flying off.
Go
Two slams. I saw 2 slams.
That's terrible.
So, something. Actually, last 2 questions. I don't know if you had a favorite female wrestler. I didn't hear that one. And randomly, what is one of your favorite Netflix shows? Curious.
That's so random.
Jeez, random.
But I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yes.
Favorite female of all time, currently on the roster.
Of all time.
Of all time?
Ooh. Current and
current and of all time.
That is a very hard question for me to say of all time.
Beth Phoenix and Melina.
How about this? How about we go around and we tell you who ours is, and then you tell us yours in the end.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So I'll start.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh,
Jacqueline.
Oh,
okay.
my Lord.
Yeah. Trash.
That was gonna be one of mine.
Okay.
Trash.
Playing like Booker T.
So I like Jacqueline. I love Jacqueline. And my favorite current female is Naomi.
Yes.
Naomi's firing right now.
Yeah.
Who's next, Rico?
Deontay.
All right. Favorite.
Deontay. Sorry.
Oh,
Deontay.
man. Okay, go ahead, Deontay.
Jeez, that's hard. Favorite. Yeah, that's too hard, man. Trish / Kelly.
She better get
You gotta pick one of the others.
we better get fired.
Well, I'm not
You
gonna
said
take
Kelly.
You know you want to say Kelly.
You said Kelly Smiley.
Yeah.
I guess. I guess Kelly. Currently, though, it might have to be Liv Morgan. Might be my current.
Fair.
I'm sorry, y'all. When she be coming out in that little dominatrix outfit, y'all, I'm sorry. I be thinking some things, y'all.
You ain't the only
You
one.
or everybody else. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Liv is great. I remember seeing her from the show when we saw her in Raw. It was great.
I usually don't go for the Caucasian persuasion, but Miss Liv.
She do look. I ain't gonna hate. She do look good in that little thing. I ain't gonna hate.
Well, Rico's not hating on her. That's crazy. That's rare.
That's super crazy.
Cause they know how I am, but I ain't gonna hate. I ain't gonna hate her.
So my all time is Trish Stratus and present Oscar.
Okay. Good choice.
Nobody's ready for Oscar.
Good choice.
Except for Becky.
Willie Will.
My all-time favorite is probably Lita, and then right now is Becky Lynch. She's a man. She's the man. Right? That's all it is.
Get her
She's
out
the
of
man.
here.
Cam.
All right, right now my favorite is Bailey. Okay, y'all already know about Bailey.
She's the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion. You feel me? And
yes, he loved her. He loved her.
Bailey. You better run SmackDown, girl. I hear you.
My all-time favorite. I mean, I like a lot. I don't really have an all-time favorite. I just know Bailey is the one that I like the most out of everybody, even on all time. But if I had to choose,
if I had to about the most, nigga, don't play.
I talk about Beth Phoenix.
There you go.
He loves Beth Phoenix.
Hey, look.
The glamour's on.
Jesus
And
Christ.
so look, so
Phoenix. I love her.
so listen, exactly. I don't know why they don't love her because
She's getting
I be
buried.
they don't
I
like they don't
do.
look,
I
look
don't
listen
like when
Meredith.
you
No,
talk
no,
about
Meredith,
her.
no, Meredith,
That's the
listen,
difference.
Meredith, listen to me. They don't like it because I be smacking their tail in WWE
Ooh.
2K20 with Beth Phoenix.
Oh my lord.
We played 2K20, man.
Anyway.
But he
Oh,
doesn't
hey.
be doing that.
Guys, we should add each other. I have it. Well,
You have
hold
it
on.
for
Do you guys have
PS4?
PS4 or Xbox?
PS4.
PS4.
Okay.
PS4.
Yay!
Damn,
Good.
so
Hey.
Oh shoot! But wait, listen. So look, so they be losing when I use Beth Phoenix, but they cannot beat Bailey worth nothing.
So Shane, your favorite all time.
Oh, we're gonna go ahead and edit all of that out.
And look,
You don't
Lacey
like
Evans
fibbing.
and Lacey Evans ain't getting no shot. I don't care.
Okay, that's true.
Anyways,
That's only
Shane.
50%.
Oh yeah, Deontay, you have it right.
That's only
Shan. I don't think Shan has a favorite current, but of all time, who you know, Shan?
I feel like this is a trick question.
Shan just woke up.
I feel like y'all are trying to set me up to say a wrestler, and I'm not going to say it. So when I was younger, I was a huge fan of wrestling, and so I am going to skip all over what you all expect. And I was enamored with the Mae Young sexual chocolate storyline, so I am going to say.
Oh my lord, Mae Young.
What?
Oh my lord.
Bro, she gave birth to that foot though, y'all.
Hey, they gave birth to Rico.
Wasn't expecting that one.
You threw us for a curve.
I think that's even better than what we wanted.
That's better than what we wanted. That's better.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
The Mae Young Classic.
Meredith, I'm gonna give you this story real quick. So I can't remember which episode it is, but whatever episode it is, we're gonna go back and I'm gonna tell you to listen to it. Because Shan discovers that China is dead.
Oh man, yeah.
And so we were talking about wrestling and so we just stumbled upon the conversation, and so she was like, "What?"
We talk about how we're glad. We're saying we're glad China got in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah.
Right, we were talking about the Hall of Fame. Oh yes, and so we were just talking about how they had been doing her dirty, right?
Yeah.
And so she was like, "Well, she need to go up there and say something." We was like, "Well."
No. I got some news for you.
You better
breaking news, Shan.
Yo,
I
was like, dang, well,
I want her to march up there and defend herself.
Oh my god. That's funny to girl.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to go back and listen to it. I'm gonna send you the episode.
Rest in peace.
But yes,
rest in peace.
But my favorite of all time is the best. Jazz, the phenom. Okay, she was a beast.
Jazz, he loves Jazz.
Yes.
Jazz. In my current favorite, I have a couple current favorites, but I'll just go ahead and nail it down to the sassy Southern belle, the lady.
Man.
That woman's right, boy. That song is crazy. I'll nail it down to that. I like a lot, but yes, that. And then yeah, what are you watching right now? What are you watching? What's the show you watching?
Netflix.
Right. Okay. So my I have to say of all time, it's a very, very close tie between Lita.
Oh yes.
And Jacqueline. Those are my close ones, you know, because I'm looking for everybody black. And current Naomi. Love her.
Okay.
Love her.
Okay.
Okay.
So
yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
A current. Oh, what am I watching now? I'm watching. Well, you said what? Does it have to be like Netflix or Hulu, or is it like?
You know what? It doesn't have to. I just figured Netflix, but it doesn't have to be on Netflix.
Okay. Well,
Community.
I just finished the Big Show, which
Oh,
It's so funny.
Wow.
It's funnier than I thought it was gonna be.
It's like a bad Disney Channel
told
show.
y'all.
Like,
I told y'all people
It looks
are
okay.
loving it.
It looks okay.
It's really corny, but it's really funny.
Yeah, it's like a really really bad Disney Channel show. Like it's fun.
Yeah. Like I go in it with no expectations. Like it's not gonna be, super dramatic.
It's not gonna be how to get away with murder. I mean.
It's funny. It's funny.
It
But
is
I'm currently watching This Is Us, and I'm also currently watching New Amsterdam. Those are like really
Nice.
into right now currently. So yeah.
Okay.
This Is Us is probably best TV, like best thing on TV.
Fire. This is us fire. Okay.
Nice.
It's good.
I like it.
I love it. Well, Meredith, we love you, man, and we are so glad.
Hey, Meredith, I got a question for you.
What's going to end up happening
So,
is we're going to have to
on the
turn your
WWE, do you have the WWE Network?
part interview.
Jeez.
Hold on, Rico.
Cam had a question that came out of nowhere.
Cam, what are you
Cam, what's going on, man? What you doing, Cam?
He was asking the question like he couldn't hear Rico.
Where'd he go?
He just left. Now he's back.
Put that in the bloopers.
That has to stay.
Cam.
What?
I don't know what's happening.
This is probably my favorite podcast you've ever done.
You say it was
Yeah.
what's your question, I guess.
Cam, what's your question?
Yeah.
Wait, can you hear me first?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Hey, Meredith, do you have the WWE Network?
Yes. Why?
Like after everything.
Wait, hold on. Yeah.
This is a true question for me. Yes.
Hold on, I was making that face for it though. Hold on.
I don't know. Where's
this going?
What's your favorite? I know. Okay, I know you. Okay, so you're a big wrestling fan, and there's a lot of stuff on that network. What do you watch the most on the network? Do you watch like the backstories? Do you watch the pay-per-views? Do you watch the TV shows on the network? What do you watch the most on the network?
I really love I love the documentaries. The documentaries,
okay.
Is so good. I just finished 24 Edge.
Fire.
Nice.
Oh,
yes, I watched that yesterday.
Incredible. I want to watch it again. It was so good. And it's
very good.
I try not to be biased because Edge is my favorite wrestler of all time. However,
rated RKO.
But seeing like his story from like when like all the way back like when he had to retire and like all the stuff that he had to go through to like get to WrestleMania, like it was just insane to like see like his entire story just like right there, and it was so like well done and well shot. And like I was a communication major, so I'm very much into cinematography and that sort of thing. Just, like, especially when they went back to Asheville where he and Beth live with the girls, and just like seeing all those like scenic sort of things in the Appalachian Mountains and
that's
stuff.
What I love. Like when they went back home, I was like,
so pretty, so beautiful. So yeah.
And who trained him to get back into shape? And to get released. That's crazy.
Yes, when he
just
that whole montage of him like training in their home gym. Like I'm just like I've never wanted to work out so much. Like this is like, let me cut this off and turn on Beachbody. Jesus.
All right, Deontay.
Wow.
I'm trying to find stuff to work out.
I'm weak.
Sharp shoot. Can I ask? Just to jump in, now that I can actually see a real life person.
Yes.
Do you have
I do exist.
Like I know, I thought you were just a voice from the clouds. Do you have like a wrestling crush? Is there like a crush?
Edge, right?
The guys
like currently
this question, so it can be now.
Right.
She said Vince
Probably
for the
like
ladies.
The Rock or
For the
Icon.
ladies.
So I think
For the ladies.
So I think that everybody on wrestling Twitter knows who my crush is, and that's
Vince
gonna be
McMahon.
That's gonna be Big
Roman Reigns.
E of the New Day.
Big E.
Big
Big
E.
E.
Yeah.
Got what you shot yet?
Boulders.
I'm sure. Trust me, I've shot my shot several times. Several times. But I will say this. He did slide in my DMs after Revolution. So
let's
Yeah, he
go.
did.
Oh,
Zinger.
No, it was nothing like that. He was like, "Listen, you did such a fantastic job. Like, it was so surprised. I was so surprised to see you. Congratulations. You know, that sort of thing. Like, it was very just like friendly, reaching out because
But who knows?
It wasn't anything like that. He wasn't trying to holler.
Look, Natalia's sister couldn't handle him. Natalia's sister couldn't handle him, so you better work it.
I thought Big E wanted a bit of the bubbly for a minute. Wait a minute.
Listen, he's single. I'm single.
Listen.
Hey,
and we all love the bubbly.
And we all got Christian Mingle.
Oh, that was good. You're good for something, Cam. You're good.
Cam, boy.
I mean, he is a preacher's son. I love him too. So, you know.
I love
Girl.
the New Day, bro.
Shout out to New Day podcast.
Bibbidi, bobbidi, boobidi.
Shout out to the New Day, baby.
I just watched him.
Trey got me this.
Oh, the new bag? I gotta flip
see
him.
Xavier Woods become.
No, he didn't. That was me.
All right, hold on.
Oh, you got me this, Barry?
It was me.
Rico, that was me.
Don't give him any more gifts.
Rico.
Oh, y'all lying. One of y'all lying. One of y'all. Who's
Rico, I
lying?
got it for you.
That's crazy.
Meredith got it for you.
There we go. Yeah.
Let's just
Man,
keep
they know I be gone, so I don't know who got this.
Man, somebody come get him.
Rico, why are you like that?
We've tried.
Aaron, you got me this for real?
Yes, it was
Yes,
me.
he did.
Yes.
I did.
I got you that in the shoes.
Yeah.
You remember
Girl,
Aaron
You
got
see
girl,
what
stop.
you see what I deal with, Meredith?
Girl, stop. I did that.
I see what they doing.
Oh,
Thank you, Mary. We go through a
No,
lot,
I know.
man.
So,
Like, y'all
Nah, we do
playing,
this
I can
every
get
day.
y'all a truckload of mugs. Hey,
come on.
when y'all get together.
So what? So if we're so funny story. I know we're getting ready to wrap things up, but so we were talking about crushes, right? So Rico
Oh, I know
was
where this is going.
What?
high school.
Oh, I'm about to tell. I'm about to snitch.
Man.
I'm about to snitch.
Oh.
yes. That's why we go way back, y'all.
Way back, y'all.
We went. I mean, we went to high school together. I mean, 9th grade all the way up until.
And Rico's still
Well,
the same.
I'm younger than you, so when I got
Yeah,
there,
so I was class. Yes,
You
I
were
was class
senior.
of 02. Yes, so
Yeah.
she was.
Oh,
class
So you class
of
02?
05.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I was not
The
on
step
team
team.
with you.
You was a
I
stepper,
was not
Rico?
on the
What
step.
the-
Oh yeah. Oh, y'all don't know about Rico stepping. Child.
Oh, yeah, get all the deets. Hey, Meredith,
Oh,
spill
he was
all
incredible.
the beans.
He was incredible. No, we had a
Thank
step
you.
team at our school. And like Rico, wait, weren't you the one who was in charge of like getting it together? Like you
Yeah,
did
so myself and Ashley, who was my cousin,
Ashley dance,
and,
yeah.
and Ashley Dance, and then Sharika, Jennifer.
he's the captain.
Well, the captain was my cousin Ashley. She was the captain of the team. But
Wow.
but yeah, we all put it together and just brought. We were like I think a lot of people would say the heart and soul of the school at that time.
Yep.
Okay. Sound good. Okay.
But yeah, but no, yes, me and Mary went to high school together. Yes, we even got freestyle pictures together that we took.
Oh God, I still have it. I have to find it. I still have it. It's so bad. I think I was wearing like blue like
leopard pants.
I look like a black Carol Baskin. That's what I look like.
Carol Baskin.
They're so bad. They're so
Carol
bad. I'll
Baskin.
find it and I'll post it. It's so bad.
And then we also did Fame together in high school. That was
I smacked the shit out of you.
Yes, you did.
I hate that show.
Yep.
Wow, that's
Fame
crazy.
the musical. Trey, you hate Fame the musical?
Musical.
And the Chris Brown album, good.
Wow.
Wait, what? I love the Chris Brown album.
Anyway,
My
so
mom
we
loves
did.
Fame.
Exactly. Fame is fire.
Anyways, we did that show together in high school, and I think that was really where our relationship really blossomed to where it is now.
It's funny because we didn't it was there, but I think that you and I didn't get super close until after you got married. He's like, oh, I'm off the market. I can fuck with her now. We're good. See, that ain't right, Rico. No, I'm just kidding. I love Charity. Don't get it wrong. I love Charity to death.
We love Charity too.
Doll. So
I don't.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
But yeah, once we were grown folk, then it was like, all right, cool, we good.
I think it's like when you in school, everybody got that when you glow up. We both glue up.
No, you didn't.
Child. Is it glue up?
Glow?
It's glowed up.
Man, Rico, is it
glowed up?
Who said glue?
Glue is not a
Rico,
word.
Rico saying
We
gleaned up.
glued up.
Rico,
Glowed
your
beard.
beard, your beard just grew. That's the only thing that grew.
Glowed up.
Oh my
You
god.
should have said.
Meredith,
Is it possible to glow down?
get these fools, man.
Goodness, my favorite podcast. I think.
Glow down.
This has
really
definitely been
fun.
an amazing episode. Meredith, I just want to thank you, man, for just coming on. We would love to have you back on.
Yes, thank you, Meredith.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I love that.
So, and Parent said, this is like, I want to say probably my favorite episode.
This is definitely my favorite episode. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really my favorite.
Definitely my favorite episode.
Wait, Will, you're still here? What the heck?
The last episode, Meredith, he just disappeared. Last episode.
My phone died. All right, leave me alone.
All right, Meredith, we love you. And
Yes.
Bye, Meredith.
later.
Peace out. Many blessings. Many
See ya.
Wait, before you go, follow me.
Why would you do that, you doofus? Guys, so we still want to get to our rank 'em up.
Okay.
And we'll get to our live for your Friday moment. But like I said, this is gonna be a 2-part interview. So definitely make sure that everybody that
Meredith is still here.
How about that? I still see it.
Because somebody said that they had a question.
She came back. She came back.
Ignore that.
Oh, she heard
him.
Ignore him.
No.
Meredith is back.
Meredith.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry.
No,
Cam, what is the
being
question,
Cam.
Cam?
Well, I didn't have a question. I would just follow us on, this and that. That's it. Follow me on IG. Your boy Cam.
He is
TM
a hot
Cole.
mess.
Mr. Napkin Julia. Rico Robinson.
She already
Iconic
followed
Delivery.
Rico already. What are you talking about?
We love you, Meredith.
We're gonna
Thank
follow
you,
each
Meredith.
other.
We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Meredith.
Gosh, I'm getting out of here. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Farewell.
Aaron with the bottle. So we want to get to our rank 'em up right now.
Rank 'em up.
Aaron and Trey, take it away.
Rank 'em up.
And the crowd.
So this is because this is a 2-part episode. We have 2 rank 'em ups. So because for Meredith it's a very special rank 'em ups. We have 2 of them. The first rank 'em up is top 5 AEW wrestlers, and the second one's gonna be top 5 female AEW wrestlers.
Well, John Moxley first.
So we're gonna start
doing
off
male
with the
and female.
Men first,
start
and
with the
then,
men?
have female, close it out because women are strong. You know what I'm saying?
That was a little sexist how you said that, parent, but I'm gonna let you have it. Go ahead.
I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway,
okay.
I know what she means. I know what she means. He
Not
didn't mean
touching
it.
it.
Okay. Anyway.
So I'll start. See, I'm off forever. See, number 5, Hangman Adam Page. Number 4, Kenny Omega. Number 3, John Moxley. Number 2, I disagree. Should be higher, but Cody Rhodes is number 2. Honorable mentions: Pac, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, and Orange Cassidy. Number 1, Trey's boy, and with a bottle of bubble, we say Chris Jericho.
Bubbly. I ordered some bubbly too because I know where y'all got it from.
It's not a secret.
It wasn't a secret.
It's not a secret, man. Trey, you can do the female wrestlers list, my friend.
All right. So for the female one, so top 5 females in AEW right now, starting with number 5, Big Cedric Alexander's girl. If no one knew that, Cedric Alexander and her are dating. Are they married? They're married.
They're married, yes, and have a daughter.
4 is Hikaru Shida.
Candlestick Queen, baby.
Yeah, I mean, she's grown on me. She's pretty cool. Number 3 is the first AEW Women's Champion, Riho.
Riho, all day.
Shout out to you, Riho. Shout out to you. Number 2 is someone that's going to be great in this company. She is going to be awesome. This is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Awesome. She's dating Adam Cole, baby. She's going to be awesome. Honorable mentions. I said B. Priestley, however you pronounce it.
Chris Statlander,
Yuka Sakazaki, and Emi Sakura.
Emi Sakura, yeah, Freddie Mercury, baby.
Emi.
Perrin loves Emi.
She's great, man.
She's good. She's good.
Anyways, stop it. She is good. She's a Freddie Mercury wannabe. Anyways, and number 1, give it up to the second AEW and current Women's Champion, Nyla Rose.
Wait, where's Brandy?
Nyla Rose.
I'm sorry, keep going.
Brandy Rose. We're talking about total pain. Perrin doesn't like Brandy Rose. So
no, I do
going.
like Brandy Rose, but she's not wrestling.
Okay.
See, you watch the AEW, yeah, so you actually know that.
She definitely doesn't wrestle, but she wrestles. So get out.
All right.
And that's our top. That's our rank them up. We had 2 of them, so we went a little bit faster, but she got the gist of it, I think.
Exactly. They got the gist of it, and I think Meredith's going to appreciate it when she goes back and watches the episode to see and listen to your AEW top 5. Huh?
If she didn't watch it, I'd be weak.
Oh my God. She's going to laugh at y'all hard when she goes back and watches this.
I'd be weak. Well, yeah, it was okay. God dang.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Guys, we're coming to my favorite part of the episode.
We just did it.
Why do you always do that?
He be lying.
Will, our Live for Your Friday moment, Will.
So, this quote is coming because we are in quarantine, and I know people are dealing with like depression and like anxiety, and so this one is: don't try to force anything. Let life be a deep let go. The universe opens millions of flowers every day without forcing their buds.
Wow.
I love it.
Is that a quote from William Bellman?
No, from OSHA.
Okay, I love it, man. I mean, it is. We just don't force anything. Just allow things to happen. I agree.
Yeah.
Wow, Will. Always some deep stuff, Will.
Very powerful.
Good words keep us going in this lockdown. It's just dragging on. All right.
You're right.
And I'm
better remember that you're not by yourself.
All right, guys. So we thank y'all for watching, and anybody that I want the people who get through this episode, because it's a big episode. It's jam-packed. I want everybody who gets through this episode to hit us up on our social media personally and let us know that you watched this. Hit us up on the Friday Podcast. That's our IG. Hit us up on Twitter, the Friday Pod. Hit us up on Facebook as well, the Friday Pod. That's how you find us.
Hit Deontay up on Tinder.
Yes, he was really.
Yeah, Deontay as a tender.
He was shooting.
You were shooting the shot hard, boy.
Deontay,
You brought that
Hey, Deontay.
like, shot. Hit us up on our social media.
Yes, we love y'all, man. And
Peace. Mwah.